All right, we are here for game number 1, and I was able to defeat Mr. Anderson in a game of pips, where we roll some dice to determine who has the higher number of
All right, speed it up. Let's go.
pips. I'll keep.
All right, interesting analysis. My hand's great. The end.
All right, this hand could be good. I don't know. We'll see. Go.
All right, no one drop from a mountain. If I didn't know what I was playing against, I'd be very happy. Abzan Charm is generally pretty bad against mono-red decks, which is what I would assume he's playing at the moment. So I'm going to put that on the bottom.
Go.
A 2-drop either. Ooh. Well, we are drawing a lot of lands, but this deck can utilize mana pretty well, so. No rabble, no rabble, no rabble.
All right, we're going to rabble.
Okay, I'll block the token.
Sure. You're up after that. If I can find the token. There it is.
Okay, well. That was a pretty decent draw. I have a few options here. I feel like I want to save this, though. There are a lot of cards that I would need this for, which means I probably want to use this card next turn instead. So we are going to play another temple and dig for a big card.
Could also be digging through time here as well.
No, I don't have any graveyard. I feel like I'm going to need this card at some point, so I'm going to keep it even though it's not exactly what I need to be
I'm feeling this Rabble Master is not going to survive what's about to happen. So I am going to attempt to proceed out of my main phase.
Go ahead.
Attacks.
All right, so this is an interesting situation here because I can exile this with Abzan Charm now, but since it's only a 4-power creature right now, what I can do is block and then put 2 counters on this guy. And now every time he blocks, I get to eat a guy as well.
Well, that's pretty good.
All right, and I will move to damage when you're ready.
Yep.
All right, so I'll take 2 down to 18 and rabble-de, drop him like he's hot.
Yep. So I could have played this, but I didn't want to get wrecked by the card Bioblight, which I don't know if Todd has that card or not.
I do.
So.
I mean, I don't have. I have 1 main, 1 board, but
yeah. So I don't know. At this point, though, we're just going to cast a Hordling Outburst and take 1.
19 to 18.
So you're up after that. We're gonna hopefully.
All right. Well, we knew what we were getting into. I think we just want to put up a little bit of a wall here, so we're going to play Sorin and make a Thomas Ross, a vampire.
Sure.
Go.
All right. I believe that I am going to, in my upkeep,
Oh, nose.
Magma Jet your Thomas Ross token.
Okay.
And scry 2, and I will bottom both of those, because that is not what I want to draw. And then I'll draw. And that actually is fine. So we'll play a land, and we have to kill the Sorin, but we will lose one of our goblins, so we'll send 3 at Sorin and 2 at you.
Yep.
And
I will block 1 that comes at me.
Yep, so you go to 17.
Yep.
And I will just pass the turn.
Okay, well, our hand's pretty good right now. I'm going to play this and Siege Rhino. The Doctor.
Yep.
Go to 20, you go to 16.
Yep.
And it's your go.
Alright, draw.
I knew going into last turn that it was pretty unlikely my Sorin was going to survive the turn, but we didn't have a whole lot else to do, and I felt like making him burn his cards is important. So.
Alright, here I'm going to take a point and cast a Phoenix.
Alright, 15 to 20.
Go.
Draw. Alright, well this is going to be pretty good for next turn, I think. I'm not sure what I want to do here. I think I want to attack, but I'm going to wait to see what he does after I attack.
Alright, well I am going to offer up the trade, so we'll see.
Alright,
He
well
wants to
before
take it or not.
damage, I'm going to utter end the Phoenix. And then you'll take 3 trample down to 12.
Yep. Alright, utter end is pretty bad there.
And sure go. I thought it was pretty good.
Alright, here...
Storm Barf or
I think I'm just going to cast a Goblin Rabble Master.
Alright, before attacks, I'm going to downfall it.
Yep. And then I'll play a Seeker.
Yep.
And get you for 3.
Alright, 17 to 12.
Yep, go. So I figured that he probably had something like Downfall there, which is why I wanted to lead that way.
Alright, well, now it's pretty unlikely he's going to be able to kill this Sorin. So we're going to play an Elf and a Sorin, assuming that I tick up. And I'm thinking if I want to tick up or down. If I tick up, I can attack and gain 5 and threaten to maybe kill him next turn. If he attacks into my guys to kill the Sorin, I can gain a bunch of life that way and buy myself a lot of time. And if he plays Stormbreath Dragon and attacks Sorin for 4, he has to lose 2 guys in the process. So we're going to tick up and battle for 5.
Okay, so I'm at 7, you're at 22?
Yep. Yeah, sure go.
Alright, draw. Well, I do have some options here. This is a tough decision. I think that I actually just play this dragon and then just pass the turn. And hopefully he doesn't draw a way to kill Stormbreath Dragon on his turn. And then next turn we'll try to get some things going.
Okay. So, it's a little strange why he didn't attack other than just playing defense against Siege Rhino. He probably has Stoke the Flames as one of his last 2 cards. Since the Rhino can just get bricked by the Stormbreath Dragon for the most part. I could trample over for 1, but I assume he would block with more things. But I'll go ahead and take my draw and see if this changes anything. That was real good.
Tilt.
I think it was real good. So I drew this. I'm going to cast it. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I can just put a bunch of counters on Rhino or Elvish Mystic. But since I think he might have a Stoke the Flames, I don't really want to put counters on my Elvish Mystic. The problem is if I put a bunch of counters on Rhino, it's not going to trample over, and he can just like block with all of his guys and kill it. I could also just start digging for more Siege Rhinos or an Elspeth maybe to take care of the Stormbreath Dragon. I guess I will tick up.
Okay.
And top 4.
Yep.
2, 3, 4. Crappy elf. And I'll play it. And I will tick up and pass.
Okay. Draw. That was, I think, a good draw. Let's figure out how I want to do this here. You're at 22.
I don't know about you.
But that's how you're feeling?
But I'm feeling 22,
Yeah. All right. I don't know about me, but I'm feeling under the gun. I want to kill that Ajani. I want to kill both of his planeswalkers.
Well, duh.
But not sure how to go about doing that. I think we have to get at least one of them off the board, and I think it's the Ajani needs to die. So this is a really awkward play, but let's go ahead and... Well, I don't know if that works the way I want it to. So we have... Let's send... You have a bunch of guys. I would go to 11 life. You still have a Soren. That's kind of awkward. I think that I have to... I have to get that Siege Rhino out of here. I think I have to get rid of Siege Rhino and a Johnny. I think is my play, so... let's go ahead and Lightning Strike the Rhino. Trigger this. Strike the Rhino again, trigger this again.
Okay.
And now I will go to attacks, and I just have to send everything out of Johnny here. Because I can't afford to him just drawing into more gas off of it.
Okay, so Johnny's going to die, so really I have to choose, do I actually want to kill most of his guys? And I think I do. So since this is a 4, I'm just going to block all 3 tokens and gain 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 29.
I'm going to go to 11. I lose all 3, you lose those 2 guys, and a Johnny dies.
Yep, but I get to ultimate this guy.
It's true.
It's not going to be great against his token producers, but
Go.
with the current board state, I think it's more than fine. All right, and you're at 11. All right.
Yep.
Draw. Ultimate.
Yep.
I think we got an emblem somewhere, but I'm just going to put a Tom Ross over here.
Sure.
You're under the gun. And go.
All right, I'll sacrifice Seeker of the Way.
Yep.
Draw. Whew, that's a pretty good one. All right, I'll attack you with Stormbreath Dragon.
Yep, I'm at 25.
And I'll cast this Hordling Outburst.
No!
Yeah.
No!
So we did have the Hordling Outburst, which made our last play a lot better.
Yeah.
And hopefully we don't get Bile Blade or anything. Go.
Go, trigger.
Yep, so we'll sack one of these tokens, and then we'll play this other dragon.
Oh, man.
And we'll get you for 8.
All right, 17. This
Go.
turned out much worse than I thought it was going to.
Come on, deck. Hang in there for a little longer.
Attack?
No blocks.
All right, I'll play Wingmate Rock. No trigger.
Sure.
All right, here we go. Sack
All right.
a guy.
Yep, we'll sack a token. I will draw.
Actually, I'm going to play this in case I draw a Courser. I don't
Sure.
want it to.
I'm going to scry with Temple. Keep that on top. All right. Soren Emblem. Yes, exactly what I wanted. And here, I'm fine with him just gaining 1 and hitting us for 3.
Yep.
I just have to keep getting in, so...
All right, I'm at 9.
Hit you for 8, put you at 9, play Seeker of the Way, you're up.
All right, I desperately need to draw a removal, like a Hero's Downfall or an Elspeth.
Elspeth would kill me.
Pretty much. All right, you can't block, so I'm going to attack for 3 and gain 1 up to 10.
And I go to 8.
Yep, and then I can just block this next turn. So.
Maybe I should have bottomed this card because it's not a land, but I don't know. It is a very good card, so...
Oh yeah, I forgot a lane just kills me. Oh wow, okay. All right, at 10. Here we go.
All right, I'll sack the token, draw, cast a pre-combat Hordling Outburst, trigger Prowess.
Yeah. All right, I'll block. You gain 3. I take 8 down to 2.
So I go to 11, you go to 2,
Yep.
and you're up. Wow. All right.
Teeth.
That was a ridiculous game.
Okay, I'm on the play here for game 2, and my hand's pretty sweet. A lot of mana acceleration and stuff to do with it. So.
All right. Well, this hand's like not that great really, but I think it's definitely still a keep. So.
We'll start off with the Elfie. Hold on 1 second. While I take an Elfie.
Magma spray it.
Fine.
Just kidding. I'll scry. And wow, it's a tough decision. So this is either really good or really bad. And I'm gonna bottom it, I think, because we already have this. So I'm gonna take a bet that since he led with an elf, it's probably bad.
All right. Well, it's not incredibly likely he has a removal spell on turn 2, but I'm going to go and get this guy into play, taking a damage.
Okay.
19. You're up.
Here, I'm just going to kill his elf. Slow him down a bit.
All right. Draw Sand Step, revealing another Sand Step. I'll gain 1.
Yep. Back to 20.
Also not bad. Take 1 back down 19. Play this. And part of me really wants to attack, but another part of me wants to make sure that I can keep a Rabble Master completely at bay. And as long as that guy doesn't get out of hand, I think I'll be fine. So I'm actually just going to pass.
Okay. Draw.
Not positive it's correct, but...
I will Horde Wing Outburst.
That was the other fear.
Go.
Alright. Draw Soren. I'll go ahead and play this. Gain 1 up to 20. See what we got up here.
Another Soren.
Alright, I'm going to attack.
I'll take 2.
Alright, you go to 18. I'm going to break even on fetch, and then I'm going to play Wingmate Rock and make his big brother.
Yeah, I'm probably just dead this game. So, whoop.
I'm going to take 1 off my mana confluence, so I'm going to go to 19. Sorry.
Yep. Alright, so we're in a real bad shape this game, but we will... I guess we do have these, so hopefully these can get there for us. But at any rate, I'm just going to play an Ash Cloud Phoenix.
Sure.
And
1 second while I find old Wingy's brother.
The old bird is the word?
Yep.
Alright, and you're up after this.
Alrighty. I'll draw.
Oh, wait, I get to see that.
Oh, sorry. It's a mana confluence.
Okay.
Draw it. Reveal Sandsep Citadel. And we are real good at drawing Utter End. So I'm going to Utter End that guy.
Are you taking a point for
I'm gonna
it?
break even, yeah.
Yep, alright.
Alright. And then I'll attack
Gross.
with these, and I'll gain 3 up to 23. Or sorry, up to 22.
Yep. I think that I'm trying to think. I think I will block to just preserve my life total a little bit.
12 to 22.
Yep.
Here we go.
Alright, we are in rough shape, especially with that Elspeth there.
Yeah, Elspeth's a pretty good card.
I'm just gonna concede.
Yeah, that's...
I can't win, so. Alright, we are back for sideboarding here. For myself, these don't kill anything in his deck, really. Except for maybe like the Chandra, or Soren Vampire, or like a random Elvish Mystic, but in reality they're just kind of bad against him, so I'm going to cut these, and I'm going to bring in things that kill Planeswalkers and Rhinos, another Hushwing Griff to shut off his Rhinos and Wingmate Rocks, and then another Chandra, which can kill things like Elvish Mystic, but more just better at pushing through damage.
Yep. On my side, I'm expecting to be, since I'm on the draw, I'm expecting to be under a lot of pressure from the Rabble Masters out of Brian's deck, which leads me to bring in Drown Sorrow. It's also just a great card against his deck full of really low toughness creatures. Bob Blight to help fight off the Hordling Outbursts, and another Utter End to help fight off the Phoenixes. On my side, siding out, we're going to cut a few Elvish Mystics since we're planning on using Drown and Sorrow, and those don't really go well together. And then 2 Johnny, since they're kind of slow, don't really affect the board too much. You know, if I try to put a lot of counters on a small guy, he can kill the small guy. If I try to put him on a big guy, then they get chained to the rocks or something. So, and digging for things is a little slow. And then I'm cutting a Soren because it feels worse than Elspeth in this matchup. It doesn't feel like it does all that much except +1, whereas Soren shines really when his +1 or his -2 is good. And so we're just going to trim one of these. So.
And one thing I want to point out is that Ash Cloud Phoenix, I like this card against... I bring these in against a deck like Mardu, but not here because of Abzan Charm. And same reason why I'm leaving Stormbreath over Sarkhan. Alright, we are here for our first game post-sideboard, and this hand's great, so I'm going to keep it.
My hand doesn't really do a whole lot. It's very defensive, but hopefully that'll line up well against his draw. We'll see what happens, so...
Alright, we'll start with the Temple and Scry, and I think I'm going to bottom this card at this stage in the game, which that makes this worse, but we want to just draw like as much gas as we can.
Alright, well, we drew a weird one for the turn. I think, actually, I am going to lead with that. So we'll go Elvish Mystic on 19 and sure go.
Okay. Here, I think we just play the Secret of the Way. Yep.
Scry. I don't really need another land. Play a Summoning Character and pass turn.
Alright, here I have to decide what I want to do. I think I just attack.
Now, I know that Brian is, like, speaking, you know, while we're playing this game or whatever, so, like, I am fairly confident, just from his minor pause there, that he has both a removal spell of sorts and a Hordling Outburst. Actually, no, that doesn't make any sense. No, the more I think about it, he would have just played Hordling Outburst and then attacked for 3 more than likely. No, I mean, I'm going to take it, but...
Okay.
Alright, 17.
And I'm just going to pass the turn.
Alright. Well, no, I think he's got Hushwing Griff, so that's cool. Still going to attack, I think.
Okay. I'll take 1. I'm at 19.
I'll play a Temple, another land on the bottom, and sure go.
Alright, I will flash in a Hushwing Griff.
Yep.
Now I will untap and draw. And here I just go to combat.
Sure.
Attack with both.
I'll block Seeker.
Okay.
Take 2.
Take
I'm
2.
at 15.
Yep. Go.
Now the reason I did that instead of casting it during combat was if I don't really want to Bob Light the Seeker, but if he wanted to do something, then I could. He's still not putting that much pressure on me, so I kind of even want now to save the Bob Light in case he has another Hushwing Griff because he passed at the end of turn. So we're just gonna move to untap.
Okay.
And oh, okay. Guess we want to keep that one. And attack.
I'll go to 18.
Sure go.
Okay. Draw. And I just don't want to extend too much. Because I just don't want to get blown out by anything here, so I think I just go to combat here. Attack.
Weird game of cat and mouse that we're playing. Still think I want to block.
Alright, here, this might be greedy, but I'm actually just going to stoke him and trigger prowess on this.
Alright, I will just utter in the Seeker and keep my guy.
Okay.
I'll take 2 down to 13, and then 4 from that down to 9.
Yep, you're up. I think when we have access to cards like this, that we're just better off doing that.
Alright, I'll just Bob Light this. Play Rhino. 15 to 12. Attack for 1 down to 14.
Yep.
There you go.
Alright, another card that I was playing around was Drown in Sorrow, but at this point, now that all our creatures are gone, we're safe to just chain Rhino to the rocks and then play a Rabble Master.
That's real good.
And we'll bash you for 1.
Yep, I'm at 11.
Go.
Need a big draw here. Bottom another land. And say go.
Alright. Here I will draw. Cast a dragon.
Yep.
Combat.
Yep.
Send the team. Trigger this.
Yep. Take 5 down to
6. One of these tokens dies. Carry to die.
It does.
Yeah, it does die. You're up.
Alright, so I'm going to try something a little weird here. That game I noticed Brian was trying to play around Drown in Sorrow by not overcommitting to the board. And one of the cards that lets you punish that heavily is Liliana Vest, because you get to start taking gas cards out of their hand because they'll usually keep playing their land drops. It can also tutor for an Elspeth or a Drown in Sorrow or other things that I might need. So I'm going to bring in a Liliana and see what happens. I'm just going to cut the rest of these Sorens. And since we saw Chain of the Rocks and a bunch of white creatures, including Hushwing Griff and Seeker, we're going to bring in a Glare, even though I don't think it'll be that good, but it's just a one-of.
So for me, I'm on the draw this game, which I think makes Rabble Master much worse, especially against a Bile-Blight Drown deck. So I'm actually going to cut my Rabble Masters, bring in the 25th land, and these Starkins and this Ashcloud Phoenix as well.
All right, I'm on the play here with a pretty solid hand, a good mix of lands and spells in all my colors, so it's pretty sweet.
This hand's not that good, but I'm going to keep it.
All right, here you go.
Alright. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go and get a plains. Oh, it's right on the bottom. 19 to 20. Draw. I'll play Sylvan, carry a Tid.
Sure.
Here you go.
I'll take a point. Seeker the way.
Alright.
You're up.
19 alt.
Yep.
Oh, bad draw. We're going to lead off with a Courser. Looking for a land. Hit. Gain 1. Season? Season. You're up.
Alright, well that's not great for me. I'm just going to stoke your guy now so you can't Abzan Charm it.
Okie doke. And I'm going to keep the Rhino on top. I don't want to shuffle.
Alright.
So. Alright, we'll draw Rhino. And I'm going to play this. I'm going to go ahead and get a Forest and then cast Rhino.
So you'll be at 22, I'll be at 16.
Yeah, 22, 16. Exact fetch. And sure go.
Alright, draw. Alright, for me, I think that my play is just casting a Phoenix and passing the turn.
Okay. Alright, start off by attacking.
I'll take it. I go to 12.
Alright, we'll take one and play Wingman Rock.
Nope.
Heavy hitters. 21-12. Here we go.
Alright, take another points. Seeker.
11.
Go.
Declare attacks.
Clear away.
I'm going to attack with these two, but before blocks, I'm going to Abzan Charm the Phoenix. I'm going to gain 2 up to 23, unless you kill one in response. Actually, I'll wait for the ability to resolve before I cast the
That's
charm.
fine.
Okay.
Alright, so you're at 23.
Yep.
Yep, this gets exiled, but I will stoke the rock. Ensure prowess for both of these. I take 3, I'm at 8.
Now, it's a weird guessing game there, because if I attack and don't Abzan Charm, then and Brian like blocks 1, I can just let it trade, but it'll flip. But since I use the Abzan Charm, he knows it's probably okay to go ahead and stoke.
Yeah.
So, all right, so 23, and then you take 3 down to 8, is that what you said?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, and I didn't want to attack with Rhino because I assumed that he was going to play something, and he could have double blocked.
Yep, exactly.
So, sure go.
Alright. Untap and draw. That's actually good, I think. Alright, I will... We could get Drowning Stars, which would be real gross for us, but Hordling Outburst and Trigger Prowess on both of these guys.
Okay.
Combat. Send them both in.
I see no real reason not to block, I think. Okay, block.
Alright, I will... Stoke the Flames, your Rhino, triggering
Sure.
both of these again.
Alright, so you're going to gain 8. I'm going to take 4.
So 19, 16.
16, 19. Now, there's an option there for me not to block, but since I do have the Drown in Sorrow, I actually wanted him to tap out for these guys. So blocking there puts the pressure on him to do something, and he did. Attack for 3 first.
Sure, 13.
And I'll drown.
Yep.
So 13 to 19. And I'm going to scry. Courser on top is pretty good. And even though I have a temple that comes into play tapped in hand, I already scried and I want to keep this, so I'm going to save it even though I might need that mana, but I doubt it.
Alright, so now I have to decide how I want to play this game, and I think that it's better to attack. So,
Alright.
well, let's see. Maybe it's better to not attack. I think I'm going to attack.
Alright, 15 to 13.
Yep, go.
Draw. Play Courser.
Yep.
Gain 1.
16.
Check.
10.
Go.
Draw. Alright, I'll go to 9, cast this, and cast this as well.
Alright, I'll just go down for this guy.
Alright, that's real bad.
Take 1 down to 15.
Go.
Oh, it gets even worse. I'll play another Drownsaur. But I'm only going to hit you for 1.
Yep.
I'm going to also scry the elf to the bottom off the Drownsaur. Play land, scry to the bottom, gain a life. Up to 16, I think.
Yep.
And cast it right now. So take 1, gain 2, so 17 to 7.
6. Because you hit me for 1.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Alright, I'm just dead. Alright, so we're back on the play for game 5, and I want Rabble Masters again while I'm on the play. And Ashclad Phoenix has been pretty bad against like both Utter End and Abzan Charm. So I'm just going to cut all my Phoenixes, and I haven't drawn Chandra yet, but I think having just 2 is fine. I actually want to keep the 25th land in the Sarkans because Sarkin can kill like rocks and coursers and things like that, and I feel like it's probably actually pretty good here, so we'll try this.
Okie doke.
Alright, this hand is pretty good, but we want to hit more lands, so that's going to be our first priority.
Yeah, I'm on the draw. I'm assuming that, much like Royce, I'm going to get rolled. But, yeah.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and scry, and keep it on top. You're up.
Alright, well, we needed that one, so we're going to scry. I think this card's too slow in our curve. We really need to find, like, a Drown in Sorrow or a Bow Blight, and this card might end up being good, but I think our bases are currently covered for everything that this could deal with, so we're going to put it on bottom.
Okay. Alright, we're going to draw the card we knew about. We're going to cast Secret of the Way and say go.
Okay. Well, I can either kill this guy or just play a Sylvan Carotid. And with the way my hand is being leaning towards, I think I just want to play Sylvan Carotid and get my acceleration going.
Okay. Draw. Alright, well, we didn't get there in that regard, but we will attack.
Yeah, I would take it. Actually, it's pretty common for... Let me think for just a minute here before I actually take it. So it's pretty common for the red-based decks to side out all their lightning strikes against me. And after that, it's basically just what could he have that could pump his Seeker. And a lot of people just blindly don't block the Seeker because they assume their opponent will, like, might have something. But even with that way my hand is set up, there's a... I don't actually care if he just throws a burn spell at my face and, like, it's not accomplishing anything. So I'm going to block.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. A lot of people getting free damage.
I'll scry. So that card's good, but I don't think it's what we want right now, so I'm going to bottom it. You're up.
All right, well, that's good because there's no Hushwing Griffin coming down, or Hushwing Griff, excuse me. And there's very little repercussion here for just casting a Rhino. I'm going to take 1.
All right, so you're at 22. I'm at 17.
Yeah, sure, go.
All right, draw. That's pretty good. Alright, here I'm just going to cast Banishing Light and Triggering Prowess. Attack you for 3.
Alright,
so
19 to 20?
Yep. So we just basically, unfortunately, all we did was undo the Rhino, but...
Yep. I'm perfectly content with Brian spending a turn to undo a Rhino. Oh, man. Alright, well, I'll go and play a Courser.
Okay.
That's really want to hit a land. So I go.
Okay, we will draw. It's kind of awkward. I don't really want him to just play that run. Like, yeah, I think I just pass.
Okay, draw,
Oh.
reveal.
That's bad for me.
All right. Well, he's representing Hushwing Griff. Since he didn't kill the Courser, didn't play anything. He might just have a handful of 5-drops, but I doubt it. And we don't actually mind if he plays Hushwing Griff, because we do have the Drown in Sorrow on top. So, yeah, let's play it. I'll take one and
Yeah,
play Griff in response. So I'm at 18.
Yep.
And here we go. I guess I could attack. Wouldn't mind getting rid of the Hushwing Griff this way. I could also just kill Seeker. Nah, I'm gonna hold back.
Alright. Draw. Alright, so here I'll just play this Chandra.
That's pretty good.
Trigger this Trigger Prowess.
Okay.
Decide how I want to do this here. Oh, starts at 4. I could 0 and just try to mize a land. You can also plus an attack, but that doesn't really accomplish that much. Wait, what are life totals right now?
I'm at 18 and you're at 20, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. That Drown in Sorrow is a real beating. So I think that I just... Yeah, we're just going to plus do damage to you. 17. And I'm just going to pass the turn.
Okay, I'll draw. We'll play this, gain up to 18. Alright, now, we have an interesting turn here. Brian, I assume, played the Chandra just to... Like, if I cast Drown Sorrow, I can only hit it for 2 and not kill it. But if I just attack with both of these, he basically just has to double chump. Or he doesn't have double chump, he can just double block this. But I think I'm just going to attack Chandra and see what he does.
Alright, I'll double block your Courser.
Okay. Oh, wow, I didn't even see that. I'm sorry. 1-1.
Yep, that's just a blowout.
Alright. Hold on. The beats don't... Alright, yeah, that's dead. The beats don't stop. Drain 3. So I take 2 from the confluence, so I'll go to 19 and you go to 17.
Yep.
You're up.
Yep. That's just game. You can't beat that, so...
Yeah, that was a good turn. Well, Abzan's still pretty good, I guess.
Yep.
Your deck seemed pretty sweet. There were a lot of interactions that I really liked. I don't think your draws were particularly exciting.
No, like, one of the key cards for me in this matchup's Chain of the Rocks, and I just didn't draw that card. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think you drew it, what, once in 5 games?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chain of the Rocks definitely very good against Wingmate, or not Wingmate, Siege Rhino.
Yeah, it's also good against Courser, too, so, yeah.
Since your deck does have a lot of burst spells that don't really kill the bigger guys, making sure that you draw a reasonable number of Chain of the Rocks is how you're supposed to be able to fight off the big guy decks. So, yeah, I mean, I for those of you who are looking at my Abzan list, I've been playing something pretty similar on Magic Online recently, and it feels really smooth. I've gotten to the point where I really like the mana base. The second Mana Confluence was just a concession to trying to have more lands that came into play untapped. I cut a Temple of Silence for it, and just trying to make sure that I had all my colors at all times, and it's been working pretty well. I do take a lot of damage, but you do gain a lot of incremental life from Corsair Crewfix, Siege Rhino, Wingmate Rock. You very rarely lose by inches. It's almost always by like a pretty wide margin.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider when you have a 3-color deck and it gains a lot of life. Mana Confluence can be way more valuable than the damage it deals you, depending on how stretched your mana base is. And my deck has stretched the mana base quite significantly. So.
Yeah, I mean, I like having more untapped lands, just being able to play. Like, I think that's one of the reasons to play a deck like this too. Is you just, I mean, it was really awkward for me in Game 5 actually that second Temple coming to play taps.
Yeah. I mean, if you had been able to play Hushwing Griff that turn, then it would have taken a little bit of the wind out of my sails. It would have changed how the texture of the game completely since you would have had a guy flying who could attack me.
And then I would have had the ability to like draw the 5th land and play so then I get to Hushwing Griff your Rhino. I can play Banishing Light, hit you for 5. If you just tap out for Courser the next turn, I can play Chandra, ping your Courser, hit you for her 6 that turn.
Yeah.
And then I have like dragons in my hand. It really would have changed the course of the game a lot, but
yeah, I thought this was a very good back and forth. I don't think it was a great example of what Brian's deck can do. So if you're curious to learn more about it, I'm sure Brian's article from last week, I think, hit on it a lot. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already. But that's gonna do it for me and Brian this week, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week with some more stuff.
Yep, thank you.